We're going to go over solutions to assignment 16. So, for this assignment, you got to prompt the user to enter a number of elements, and then allow the user to enter that many numbers, and then you're going to store the data in an array, print out those elements, and get the mean and the range of those elements. So we're going to start by creating a scanner object. So we're creating a scanner object called in. Let me call it input. And it's a new scanner directed at the console for input. So we're going to start by printing out how many elements, and then we're going to input num elements, and we're going to have a test to make sure this line will go away, but I'm going to make sure that we got that correctly. So if I run this, put in 5 elements, prints out 5. So it correctly read that. Now, we have 5 elements, so we're going to create an array we'll make it of doubles. However many elements the user says to put in, that'll be the size of our array. Then we're going to have a for loop. That'll run num elements number of times. Prompting the user to enter a number. Then we're going to say data I equals input dot next double to read that number. Then in here I'm going to put system dot out dot println input completed, just to know that we've got to the end of input. So let's run this and we'll check it out. Put in 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Input completed. So we've stored the data in an array. Let's print it out to verify that it works. And for this, I'm going to use a new something that we haven't introduced yet, called the for each loop. Actually, I think I'm not going to use that. We'll wait till I introduce it in class. I haven't introduced it in all the classes yet, so now we're going to take care of printing out the elements in the array that we just put in to make sure that that works, right? So we're going to run. I'll put in 4 elements, 11, 13, 15, 1, and 17. Then it prints those elements out. So We've now done 1 and 2. Now we need to use the get mean and get range methods to calculate the mean and the range. So get mean. Computing the mean of an array means adding all the elements up and then dividing by the number of elements in the array. So what we're going to do is create a variable to store the total. We're going to say I equals 0, I less than data length, I plus plus, because this is going to run through the entire array. The total equals total plus data I. So we'll add each one of those elements in. And then return total divided by data.length. Now because total is a double and data.length is an integer, we have a decimal number divided by an integer, so the computer is going to do decimal math, which is what we want. So we're going to put in system.out.println get mean of data. So I'm going to verify that this works. I'm going to enter in 5 elements. I'm going to enter in 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, because the sum of those I know will be 150. 150 divided by 5 is 30, so the mean should be 30. And it prints out 30. I think I'm going to make this print out mean equals plus, just to make it a little more clear where we're printing out. So 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Mean is 30. So if you notice now, we've sorted the data in an array, we print out all the elements, and we've done the get mean method, so we just need to do get range. Well, the range of a set of data is the highest number minus the lowest number. So what we're going to do here is if data.length less than or equal to 1, return 0. If there's not at least 2 elements, then the range is going to be, we're going to say the range is 0. Then double max equals data 0. Double min equals data 0. So to start off with, we'll assume the biggest and the smallest thing are both the first element. Then we're going to look at all the other elements, starting at element 1. If data I is greater than max, max equals data I. If data I is less than min, we have a new minimum, so min equals data I. So it's going to run through this loop, and every time it finds something bigger than max, that's the new max, and everything it finds something smaller than min, that's the new min. And after the loop is done, we return max minus min. So the method is get range. So if we use the same set of data, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, the range should be 40. But I'm going to mix up the values order just to make sure that the get range method is working. So we have 5 elements. I'm going to enter 40, 10, 30, 50, 20. Let me run it again. And let's say 5 elements, negative 10, 20, negative 30, 20, and 25. So the average of those, right, negative 10 and 20 is 10, minus 30 is negative 40, plus 20 is negative 20, plus 25 is positive 5. So the average of those things, the sum is 5 divided by 5 is 1. So we should get a mean of 1. And the range should be 25 minus negative 30, which should be 55. And we'll notice that we did not get a range of 55, so we have to ask why. So we're going to come down here, and we're going to do printing out the max and the min each time. Oh, never mind. The reason is I had get mean instead of get range. I was wondering what I had done wrong, and apparently it was not in the method, but get range right here. So let's run this again. And this is a good example of why you have to run it more than once to test it. So let's do the same thing. Negative 10, 20, negative 30, 20, 25. And now we get the right values. So, because I made that mistake, let's try it one more time. Let's try 4 elements. Negative 10, negative 9, negative 8, negative 7. So the average value, right? So negative 19, negative 27, negative 34, divided by 4 should be negative 8.5. And the range should be 3, from negative 7 to 10. And looks like this works. So there we have our solution.